Hello, and welcome to This Week. My name is Tony of the Underpaid Gamers. This week is a weekly news show where we look at all the happenings of the last 7 days. This episode will cover December 11 and onward. Jessica Jones Season 2 trailer dropped this week. Season 1 is arguably the best Marvel property made for Netflix, so we'll see if Season 2 can hold up. The Netflix series are always pretty good at including other characters. Whereas Season 1 of Jessica Jones introduced us to Luke Cage, this will be the first Netflix show featuring a Defender since the release of the first season of The Defenders. So I'll be interested to see what new and old characters will be shown. Season 2 will release on March 8th of 2018. According to research by digital firm SuperData, the eSports industry was valued at $1.5 billion in 2017. Attributing much of that to eSport powerhouses such as Dota 2, League of Legends, and Counter-Strike, there were also nods to newer titles such as Overwatch and PUBG. SuperData wrote in their report, once only large in core Asian markets like Korea, esports have expanded worldwide and are now top of mind of every publisher, platform, and brand. At $1.5 billion for 2017, global esports revenue will grow 26% by 2020, as it attracts an even more mainstream audience. This increase will be fueled by viewership projected to grow 12% each year and a swelling number of third-party investments. Overwatch was just getting its footing last year when it was released and has set the groundwork for future growth by establishing capital cities for team headquarters, much like the NFL, MLB, and NBA. PUBG's viewership has eclipsed its player base by 20 times over. With more room to grow next year and a physical release on the Xbox One this month, I would expect to see even higher numbers for PUBG in the future. For the first time ever, Twitch.tv aired the Thursday NFL game of Broncos at the Colts. I'm a fan of the NFL, and I'm a big fan of Twitch, so I was pleased to see these two come together. While it was somewhat hard to navigate my way to the stream, I did eventually find it. Unfortunately, there was only 10,000 other viewers, which is pretty low for Twitch, especially when individual people on Twitch will routinely stream for 20,000 or more people. I attribute this to the two pathetic teams that were playing on Thursday night. I don't have cable, so it was a great way to be able to watch the game on one of my favorite websites. I hope to see more of this in the future with more support from the gaming community. The internet affects everybody in so many different ways, but the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, headed by Ajit Pai, have voted this week to end our internet freedoms. In a 3-2 vote, the FCC has made the first pushes to repeal net neutrality. With the end of net neutrality, in the simplest terms, internet providers like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T can literally charge you money to visit specific websites, such as charging you a $5 access fee for Facebook for a day or a $50 monthly subscription to YouTube. They can also throttle website speeds. Disney is in the process of releasing their own streaming website. If they wanted to be more competitive, they could lobby to Comcast to encourage Comcast to reduce loading speeds on websites like Netflix while making the Disney site load faster with less buffering. The FCC vote is devastating to individual freedoms, but is only one step in the process to repeal net neutrality. Congress can still save net neutrality. These are the faces of Congress that support your internet freedom and net neutrality. And these are the faces that have sold you out to the cable companies. These are the members of Congress that have not yet made their position clear. This website, battleforthenet.com, is easy to use and has many ways to relay your personal message to these members of Congress. Either go to the website linked below or call up your Congress chair and let them know that you want your internet freedom back. We still have time to tell the FCC that we won't go quietly. Disney bought most of 21st Century Fox for $52.4 billion. So here's everything that Disney gets, and here's everything that Fox gets. The Fox spinoff companies aren't all that affected, and note how Disney did not want Fox News. The biggest part of this merger is that now Disney owns the Fox TV and movie networks, a majority share of Hulu, and franchises that originally belonged to Marvel. The 60% share of Hulu interests me as Disney is trying to create their own streaming service for exclusive Disney-produced material. Are they going to scrap Hulu and remove them from the competition? Or are they going to just shovel all their material onto Hulu, an already existing streaming site? If you're excited for this deal, you're not the only one. Disney now owns the whole Star Wars franchise, as well as most of Marvel, with only a few characters that are still in their own universe. But this merger isn't the most consumer-friendly. Disney now owns 40% of the theatrical market share, the closest to a monopoly we've seen in quite some time. With the ownership of the most popular franchises in film history, it could be reasoned that Disney will have an even larger percent of the market share next year and further on into the future. What this means is that they'll have a majority say in how movies are viewed in the future and what movies get made. If a new writer pitches a movie to Disney and they don't like it, there are substantially less movie studios for that writer to fall back on, and this can lead to a less diverse medium. So yes, maybe we'll finally get a really good Fantastic Four movie, but at what cost to the future of films? But since we're already talking about Disney, Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi came to theaters on December 15th. If you didn't already know this, you're living under a rock. So here's my spoiler-free review. Okay, so first of all, I saw it in a theater full of people that would not shut up. Like seriously, they just talked the whole time. So I really didn't enjoy my experience watching this movie. Second, the movie was pretty great. I've never been that big of a Star Wars fan, but they're fun movies nonetheless. This movie specifically felt more like a Marvel movie, wherein there were a lot of jokes and they all landed pretty well, but they can really cut the tension in some scenes. I didn't go into this movie expecting to be blown away by the visuals, but there were some certain scenes where I legitimately held my breath. With the release of Han Solo film in a few months and Rogue One last year, the announcement of a new trilogy happening soon, I'm getting pretty burnt out on Star Wars. I enjoyed the movie and I definitely recommend it, but I think I'll be giving Star Wars a break for a while. So that's kind of it. That's kind of what happened this last week. Join me next week as we go over the future of news media and what all happens. You can find us on Twitter at UPGamersPodcast. Email us at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. Leave a comment if you so choose. A like on the video. Share it with your friends. Share it with your grandmother. I don't know. Just come back next week. All right. I'll see you then. Bye.